Well, both sides really are trying to work the margins. This is a marginal election when it really is going to come down to just a couple of thousand votes across those 7 or so battleground states. So they're trying to get out the vote. Kamala Harris spent the morning in 2 black churches trying to get the black congregation there to support her in en masse. And that is something that is a significant portion of the electorate which could hand her the state and really help her on the path to the White House. So 2 mega churches that she attended, one of which had well over 1,000 cars in the car park, is what our pool reporter told us this morning. And she struck that conciliatory message and that uplifting tone. And then a lot of the congregants then were bused to polling places immediately afterwards to get their early vote in. And early voting is taking place in Georgia, and it has been record-breaking so far, which could potentially be good news if you are Kamala Harris. Normally, the early vote does tend to skew Democrat, although the Republicans this time round are also trying to get more of the early vote out. But on the first day of early voting, just a few days ago, there were over 300,000 people who voted. That is almost, it's over double, actually, the amount of the record that was previously set in 2020. And then the second day also broke that 2020 record. So far, over 1.2 million people have voted in Georgia, bearing in mind that about 5 million voted in the 2020 election as well. So after Sunday, she's heading back to the northern state. She's heading back to the Blue Wall, back to Pennsylvania, which is where Donald Trump was on Sunday. He started with a town hall before moving to a McDonald's for a photo opportunity there as he worked at the fry station. This basically a trolling attempt at Kamala Harris, who said that she worked at McDonald's while she was a student at university. Well, Donald Trump is saying that's a phony story, that there's no evidence that happened. So that's why he took to the frying station, saying that he was enjoying it and having a good time. But of course, he's trying to get that important vote in Pennsylvania, because whoever wins that could likely win the main election as well. So he's also then heading tonight to Pittsburgh to go to a Steelers football game. He touted that whilst he was in Philadelphia, which is a bit of a faux pas because there's a rivalry going on between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So a bit of a faux pas on the campaign trail there from Donald Trump.
A very interesting one indeed. But now one of Donald Trump's main supporters, in fact, his biggest supporter, if we can say, over the last couple of days is Elon Musk. Let's just quickly talk about him because he seems to be getting himself into a little bit of hot water. Well, I wouldn't say just yet, but he's certainly under the microscope. And it involves offering up to $1 million for a petition which promotes voters to vote for Trump. Tell us about that. Is he in trouble?
So Elon Musk is the head of this thing called America PAC, which is a political action committee which has been actually used by Donald Trump for a lot of their ground game. A lot of the people on the ground knocking on doors are being filtered through this America PAC. And Elon Musk has given about $75 million to it so far. But he announced on Saturday that he's going to be giving $1 million to one person every day from now until the end of the election if they sign up to his website, which basically is a petition which supports the First and Second Amendment. So there is some question here about whether this is voter interference or not. Technically, it is not, but it is becoming quite close to the line. One legal expert said that the reason that it could be seen as a violation is because he's requiring people to sign up to this petition in order to get that to be in the draw for that $1 million. If it was open to everybody, then it would arguably be okay. But of course, if you give your details to this super PAC, then you could indeed be contacted by the Trump campaign to try to get you to vote for Donald Trump and to try to, persuade you in their direction. So that is where the ambiguity comes in. Now, it is also been backed up by some stark rhetoric from Elon Musk, who has been stumping in various swing states for Donald Trump. He's used some pointed language about Kamala Harris, saying that the reason nobody's trying to assassinate her is because she's a puppet, and that has been condemned as well. So Elon Musk playing a big part in this election, but arguably also, a quite shady part if you're on the other side of the aisle.
Fraser Jackson, thanks so much for that analysis. As always, we will be looking with keen intent on what happens again in the next 16 days. That's when the U.S. election will be taking place. Fraser Jackson from Washington there.